conversation, boy, I know when you say that you just know. Back and forth and I'm feeling guilty, 'cause I just can't stop this pendulum in my head. Though I know that our time is ending, oh, I'd rather lay forever right in this bed.
Welcome for another review at Kempers Watersport, and today we took out a Sea Ray Sunsport 250. This actually is a 2019 model, which is nearly the same as the 2020 model. There are some minor things which have changed, but let me take you through it. And as usual, we start at the bow. I'll start right here. It's a stainless steel anchor. This, by the way, is a used boat which we just traded in. So it is slightly used. It has 45 hours or so. And the owner who bought it new equipped it in a way that it was suitable to his needs. But I think this is a really nice specification. It has nearly all options, I think. And one of them is this stainless steel anchor. And there's an electric anchor winch below this hatch. You may notice all the non-skid on an area such as this and this here. This sun lounge cushion is of course also removable. So if you are boating and if you want to go forward, you can do it in a safe way because there's non-skid, as I mentioned, on the deck here. If you order the sun lounge cushion in the bow area, you also need to order this bow rail, which is slightly higher than the standard rails, which are, I think, here, and they are quite low. But this adds to the safety of having the sun lounge area in the bow, where you can, of course, lie down. But again, this is a nice feature and a safe feature if you want to grab on, if you want to prevent from falling overboard. This middle piece here can also be taken away. That is very practical when you want to have some natural light in the front cabin area, so that can be taken away. And of course there's also, you may notice the zipper here, but there's it's attached here with the zipper, but with these small things here you can use a cover to cover this cushion area on the bow and protect it from the elements. Of course, all the stainless steel, like the bow rail, the anchor, but also the cleats and the hinges, they are all made out of stainless steel 316 quality, like we're used to from Sea Ray. Sea Ray is a builder that uses the best possible quality for all the parts necessary. Another thing, for example, is this rub rail, which has a stainless steel insert, which not only gives it a very nice look, but is also something which doesn't damage easily. Of course, the middle section of the front window can be opened, but I'll come back to that later. If you slide this to the right side, this is also a step-on going to the bow area. And if you fold it open, you may notice this. This is to hold this middle section of the window. Cleats are, but you cannot see it here because of course there's lines on the cleats at the moment, but they have this nice Sea Ray logo engraved, which I think is a nice detail of Sea Ray. And this boat also has the optional fender clips, and we took this as an example. You can attach a fender. Of course this should be attached to a fender, but you can, when you want to more, it's just a matter of doing this and taking it away just like that, which makes it very easy and practical to use fenders. Cup holders, there are 4 here on the in the transom area. Let me take off my shoes while I go on board. So 4 cup holders here. A really nice transom sun lounge here. I tend to show how big it is. I'm 1.92 m, a great area. And there's also a filler piece for this area. We took it off because of course we need to go on and off the boat. But also this boat has been installed with the optional teak, not only on the bathing platform and the walkthrough, but also in the cockpit. Gives a very classy, warm look, I personally think. But there's a filler piece here. And if you pretend that it's here, you can see I'm 1.92 m. It's long enough even for taller people like me to lie down and enjoy the sunshine. This, let me show that briefly, but this can be tilted like this. There's a support below. And if you use the filler piece here, this can be used as a headrest. And this is to take up the stern drive when you, for example, take out the boat and put it on a trailer. This boat can still be trailered if you are slightly careful with the options and with all the things you put inside, because it's just on the edge of 3.5 tons, including a trailer. This boat we're offering for sale also, and this includes an aluminium black powder coated trailer, a really nice combination. But if you're putting the boat on a trailer, you've got to take the stern drive up, you can do it from here without having to go on the boat and making everything dirty with dirty shoes. This is an option that comes with the Premier stereo option. So this is a remote for the audio, and this is another option, the outside shower. Really useful in areas where you have salt water and when after swimming you want to rinse yourself off and take away the salt. Another option that nearly everybody now orders is this submersible swim platform. I won't lower it any further, but this can be lowered and used as a nice way to sit here and just have your feet in the water in really hot climates. But it's also very useful if you want to, for example, put on your wakeboard, which can be quite cumbersome by just using the bathing platform. But if you fold this down, you can already put the wakeboard in the water, and that makes it a lot easier to put the wakeboard on. Of course, there's also a swimming ladder that is on this side, made out of stainless steel, and I think it's at least 3 steps, 4 steps even. It's a 4-step ladder, stainless steel, with a grab rail here on the right spot, so you can go in and out of the water safely and comfortably. Behind here is of course the tow eye for the water ski line, but this boat also has the elevation package, which means it has this big targa mast with the sun top, and you can of course attach the line for water skiing or wakeboarding on top of that, making it very easy to come out of the water. If you do a lot of water skiing or wakeboarding, wakeboarders tend to want to have a higher line, because jumping from wake to wake is a lot easier because you more or less are floating in the air, whereas if the line is attached here, you're being pulled down, and also you're being pulled out of the water more easily. But not only that, when you use it for water skiing, another good and safer thing is that if you're maneuvering in the water and somebody's in the water and you need to go backwards a couple of meters, you could do that when the line is high, because it touches the water way behind the boat. Whereas if you do it here, you can basically not go backwards because the line gets stuck into the propeller easily. These speakers also come with the Premier stereo. Premier stereo being an upgrade where you have a subwoofer, a stronger amplifier, the extra remote and extra speakers. And you may notice this is to attach the shore power cable, because this boat has a battery charger. So that is what you need the shore power connection for. What I cannot show you now, but what I can explain, is that every Sea Ray is usually ordered with different covers. You can have just simple covers to cover the cockpit, for example. But what I would like to explain to you is that you usually start at the bow going backwards, and a very practical thing that Sea Ray does is that at the end they have a small a piece with an elastic band pulling it over these knobs here, whereas other brands tend to use only these, and a cover usually tends to shrink, which means that after a couple of months or maybe a season or two they don't fit anymore. That doesn't happen with the Sea Ray because there's some flexibility because you pull it over. It's also simple to put it on or to take it off. So a very practical feature, which is of course also done because Sea Ray has a lot of experience building boats. Coming forward towards the cockpit, this is a huge and very sociable cockpit, I would say. Let me put this in this position. If you fold out this table, you can see that this is a huge area. I could turn this around also. This is a huge area where you could seat I think even up to 8 people or so. A really very nice area. And if you fold this even further, of course you could use this as a sun lounge, being sheltered when there's a chilly spring wind. So you could lie down here, being sheltered again, but also if you sit down here, this is strong enough to also hold other people, so you could even extend the number of people on board here. Let me take off my sunglasses, making it a bit more personal. You may also notice this honeycomb structure, which is used on this Sunsport. The patterns change over the different model years, so for 2020 it may be slightly different, and I'm sure it will change for 2021. But I personally think this is a really nice setup. And of course, the ergonomics on the Sea Ray are always really good, with something to hang on to here, but not only there, also here and there. There's plenty of places to hang on to when you're boating in rough conditions. Cup holders, of course, here. And again, there's teak on the floor here. There's this teak table, which I think comes together in the captain's package. But I really like this. Gives it a really classy look, especially with the Sea Ray logo engraved and this small detail where you can put some drinks. There's storage below here. Again, you can turn around the seat at the steering position. And going back to practical details and also ergonomics, if you sit down here, there's always a grab rail on the right position and an armrest. I like this patterning, which is done throughout the boat. This whole piece here is more or less an example of what the Sea Ray does. It's all the attention to detail with a different pattern here, and every fiberglass piece on the side here is covered with this nice material, nice stitching, stainless steel grab rails, stainless steel cup holders, a light inside. There's lights here. This is the subwoofer which comes with the audio upgrade. So again, really nice attention to detail. Non-skid here, and that is again because this is used to go forward. When you open up this window here, you can go forward to take the anchor out or to moor the boat. And when you open it up like this, I always suggest using this, because this goes so easy, like you can see here, that if you're boating and you don't do this and you make a turn, this could slide down unexpectedly, which can be dangerous. And of course there's cabin in here. Let me quickly go in and show you how long it is. I'm 1.92 meters. And as you can see, this is long enough for me to sleep over. There's a toilet below here. This actually is an electric toilet. There's nice ventilation through these portholes on both sides. There's mosquito nets also available for those. There's a reading light on the other side. There's an escape hatch here. There's nice cushions on the side, and of course there's a filler piece for this area, so that you have a huge bed to sleep. Or for kids, this is a great area. When my kids were really young, we always loved to take a boat out, such as this one, because this is a great area for kids, especially later during the day when they are a bit tired. You can have them go in here, take off their swimming vests, use an iPad or a book, and just have their own area and do some relaxing and being sheltered from the sun. Again, there's a toilet here, which slides out like that. Really easy. So a nice cuddy cabin. Extra speakers here inside. There's reading lights on that side, but also here. So I think a really great area. It's actually quite high, even with my size. As you can see, I can sit up right here and read a book. A nice mirror there, which is not only practical, but it gives it a roomy feeling also. And everything here is upholstered. This contrasting color here gives it a nice feel. Nice stitching on the edges. Yeah, really nice. So let me take you to the steering position. The thing you may notice first is this, what Sea Ray calls digital dashboard, which I really like. It is more or less what other people call a glass display. So this is completely flush, gives it a very clean and modern look, but it's also very practical because you have all the info you need right in front of you. I don't know why this is doing this, but it's probably because we're moving around. We set this up with the Navionics Platinum Plus charge, which I personally like because you have this 3D setup with a satellite overlay over land. Of course, you can install all kinds of things. If you're in an area where the depth of the water is important, you could have this blue area, which of course is water. You could also have the depth in different sections, shown in different sections, which can be useful. Here now you can see engine data. It says it has a communication error because the engine is not running. But you could do all kinds of other things. Of course, you could show charts here, the echo sounder. You can do lots of things with these nice Simrad displays. Another nice thing with these displays is that they have a really good visibility. Even with polarized sunglasses, it seems to be obvious that you can still see this, but I've noticed that there are different setups with navigation equipment where if I put my polarized glasses on, I just cannot see the screens anymore. Not with these beautiful Simrad displays. Another nice thing is this Fusion setup. This also comes with the Premier stereo. Of course, you can link it via Bluetooth. You could even link it with the boat next to you so that you both have the same music on. Which I think is called a party mode, a really nice feature. It sounds like a plaything, but trust me, we've used it even on boat shows where we have 10 boats or so. It's really nice to have the same music on all the boats which are there. There's as an option on the water lights that this boat doesn't have that, but this boat does have docking lights in the bow, which is, I think, not only very practical when you tend to drive during evenings or nights, but it also looks really classy. There's a wiper here on this side that again seems to be obvious, but other brands usually don't even have that as an option. Of course, the blower, the horn, every control is here, and also made with these nice stainless steel switches with a light on indicating that it's either on or off. A nice Sea Ray steering wheel with the Sea Ray logo. And of course it can be tilted like we're used to with Sea Ray. And something I would certainly recommend on a Sunsport, but on a lot of other boats too, is this bow thruster. I always say I'm quite an experienced boater, and I can, even being alone, take a boat into a really difficult corner. But if I tend to do that with a force 5 from the side and I need to go backwards in a really tight spot, I just don't do it when I don't have a bow thruster. But when I do, I just feel safe enough to do it. This not only is very practical and comfortable, but also a safety feature. What else am I forgetting? Of course, cup holders again here. There are even 3 here, and again the nice honeycomb pattern here. And if I fold down this, of course, this flip-up seat is very convenient, especially when you do wakeboarding or if you're mooring the boat, you have a good overview. It can be also nice when it's over 30 degrees or so and you want to feel the wind through your on your face. This can be a nice feature. But if you want to sit down in a more relaxing position like I'm doing now, this can be really nice with a really high backrest, feeling very comfortable, very sheltered. An armrest here on exactly the right place. The controls here on the right place. Steering wheel is set up in a proper way. Of course, this slides forward and aft, but even a reclined footrest is a nice detail, but makes it very practical. Of course, there are tinted windows. I like this black powder-coated window frames. This boat has a lot of nice features, and I think this is a beautiful, classy combination of different colors and luxury details. Okay, let me start up the engine and let's take her out for a spin. There's a few things that I forgot to mention just now. This Watersports tower is included with the elevation package, but it also comes when you order the package with wakeboard racks, which are attached to the side here and which swivel inside so that you can either store or take off the wakeboards easily. And some people may also find it interesting to, for a change, see the engine room area, which is right here. This boat has the Mercruiser 6.2 liter multi-point injection, 350 horsepower, a great, smooth and powerful engine. And a few things that you may also notice and see is the automatic fire extinguisher. Every Sea Ray has an automatic fire extinguisher of a very high quality, so that adds to the safety. You can see the light there used on top as an anchor light, and you may also notice the cabling, which is done in a way that it's installed safely and it's not installed in a way that it can damage on sharp edges like this, for example. It's made in a way that it doesn't fly around when you're driving in rough conditions. Also, the batteries which are on that side are fixed properly. A very clean and tidy engine room with a proper two proper gas struts, so that it's quite easy to take this up or down. The main switch is here, and this is the smaller or the smaller support for the table, I should say, here, so that you can lower the table, fold it out, and you have a filler piece here. Let me close this down for the noise, by the way. So that you can put this down and put the filler piece in, and you have a great area to do some extra sun lounging. Okay. Put in the proper driving position again. Let me put up the man overboard cord and let's take her out. This again still is on the 3D mode with the satellite overlay. Great area. Marina is here, by the way. This is us. So a beautiful area. And here we now have the engine data. Speed here on this side, RPM. Here again, speed over ground. You can see the trim. We still have 73 liters of fuel. And this is an interesting piece of data. Eco GPS, shown here in kilometers per liter. This means that the higher the figure is, the more distance you achieve per liter of fuel. So trying to find the optimum speed where you have the highest range is a matter of looking at this figure here so that you know what the optimum speed is. And I think by heart with this boat it is around 45 kilometers or so, which is actually quite fast. And then it does around 1 to 1, so 1 kilometer per liter, which is a really good figure for quite a heavy boat with a 350 horsepower engine. Again, the ergonomics on this boat are really nice. Let me tilt this down a bit. This was probably still in the flip up high position. We're now doing 1400 RPM, 10.9 kilometers an hour. Let me check around. We don't want to bother other people in the area. And let me gradually take her up to plane. 1700 RPM. I'm not giving full throttle right away because of the camera. So I'm pressing the controls gently to take her out of the water. But it is a very powerful engine, so I barely have to touch the controls to take her up the plane. We're now doing slightly over 3000 RPM, 35 kilometers an hour. And this actually is quite a good economic speed, 1.14 kilometers per liter. And if I increase the speed, it's still quite a nice and silent boat. You may notice, of course, I'm sitting behind the windscreen trying to protect the microphone from the wind. And of course it's difficult to explain, but I find these sea rays to be very nice, quiet. We're now doing slightly over 3000 RPM, already doing 40 kilometers an hour. 1.18 kilometers per liter, really good. Let me take the speed down just a notch. As you can see, 46 kilometers an hour, 45, 1.2 approximately kilometers per liter. Really good. Okay, let me see what you can do. Find some space here. 70 kilometers an hour, still turning the boat. You probably haven't heard me because of the wind and the speed, but we managed to do 75 kilometers an hour approximately, which is quite fast for a 25-foot boat with all these options and the 350 horsepower cruiser engine. With that, I'd like to wrap up this video. Thank you for watching. Let me also mention that we usually have quite a few boats in our showroom. This actually is a boat which we traded in. Has only 45 or 50 hours and is as new. We're selling it with warranty. Please see the link below this video. But we have many other new Sea Rays, many SLXs, Sun Sports. Of the full range, we have most models in stock in our beautiful showroom. So let me also invite you to come over. But again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in one of our next videos.
from the peak and the stars that broke the code. I'm trying to forget how I landed on this road. I'm caught in between what I wish and what I know. When they say that you just know. Back and forth and I'm feeling guilty, 'cause I just can't stop this pendulum in my head. Though I know that our time is ending.